Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 63. I am your host, KCW, as always, and with me we have Kenchi.
Hi, I'm Kenchi618, and did you know that I can cut through a hot knife with butter?
Wow.
Okay. It's a good one. Give you credit. Slicer.
Fuck the water temple. I mean, hi.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And Zero.
Hey everybody, how you doing? And this time I want to ask the listeners, just real quick, comment, what do you want my intro to be? I can't think of a good intro. So just, I don't know, maybe I'll just do a different intro every week, like Kenchi, but something that the fans choose. Because why not?
Might I make a suggestion of Zero should stop being lazy?
You know what?
I think that'd be a good intro.
No.
He sounds so long-suffering, it's great. Alright, so, we're going to start with what we always start with, which is, what we're doing. Wait, no, we're not. We've got the fucking thing to do first, which is, it is the first week of December, which means we have this month's Patreon, supporters. Yay, thank you, people who support us. Yay. Just in general. So, patron manager, just pulling it up. Alright, we have 2 patrons this month. And they are, once again, Tempest Troper, who has decided to be a super cool dude and give us $5 every month, apparently.
Thanks.
I did check that he didn't just leave the payment going by accident. He is actually, in fact, genuinely wanting to support us $5 a month.
That's actually really cool, thanks.
It is.
Yeah.
So very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Really, genuinely thank you. So, and also, we have Resden has decided to support us, and the message he sent me was, I'm just gonna paraphrase. It was something along the lines of, as the founder of the Cult of Zero, I felt it right that I be the first to donate.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask, was most of that message in biblical speak?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'd like to put this out right now. Don't donate because of the Cult of Zero, because that's really fucking creepy.
A little bit. Also, I think you missed by like a month, because my brother was the first one.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
But still, don't do that, please, because it makes me really creeped out. If you want to donate because you want to donate. Don't have some weird thing that makes it sound like it's an obligation because of religious reasons. Jesus Christ. That was... Anyway. So, those were our donors for this month, so thank you very much for supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And next, we also have something that I would really like to be a tradition that we do at this particular time of year, which is a nice visit to this website that I love so very much.
Uh-oh.
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 Oh, yeah.
Merry Christmas from CondomDepot.com. Oh, I apologize. I really do apologize. Happy Holidays from CondomDepot.com.
My old...
Well.
It was on date.
So.
You feel proud of yourself now?
Yeah, I do.
I kind of do.
Yeah, so...
Condoms for everyone. Here's some great...
Yeah. Once again, they have a lot of great deals on condoms.
The condom...
For this Christmas season.
The Condom 100 Holiday Sampler. Normally that'd be $59.99, but it's on sale for $29.99.
Off price, not bad. Can't complain about that. So, anyone feel like doing a voice to read out one of these?
You do it.
You did it last time.
I did do it last time. I think someone else should jump in for this one.
Product reviews.
There's 4 of them here, so we can do one each, I think. Someone pick out a voice and do the first one, if you would.
Can't. I don't do voice work, sorry.
You refuse? Oh, that's a shame.
There's 4 of them, I guess we're going through.
Which one am I reading?
The top one. Do you want to do it now?
What, the condom 100 holiday sampler? Okay, hold on. Load up. All right. So our popular holiday sampler is back. This special condom sampler features 100 assorted condoms packaged in a holiday stocking. And it's legit in a holiday stocking. Like, there's a big-ass red stocking stuffed to the brim with condoms. It's awesome. Makes the perfect safe sex gift for college students or a sexy friend. The hottest condom variety samples online for under $30. That's less than 40 cents a condom. That's a great deal.
It's a pretty good deal, actually.
It really is. I'm not even joking. If you're looking for a great way to sample some condoms, try this condom sampler. You'll get 100 great brand name condoms. All have their own unique style. Some snugger fit, some colors, some textured, some that are super thin. No spermicide.
No, you got to read that right. It's all caps. So.
No spermicide.
I love this website.
Oh my God, their product reviews. Awesome condoms. I use them every day. So hot. All caps.
Sure you do.
Awesome. Just what I needed by Brittany in Racine, Wisconsin. Great variety and incredibly great price. Just got mine in the mail the other day. Can't wait to get to work. Corey of Piano, Texas. Okay.
What?
You heard her.
Okay, so does anyone feel like putting on a really terrible Japanese accent?
I would love to, but I can't do accents.
I can't do Japanese. That's the one thing I can't do.
Japanese condom sampler 10.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this?
Why would we not do this? Come on.
I don't know. This monster.
Check out this great condom tin. Get all of the most sensitive condoms on the planet. 33 condoms in all plus 2 vibrating Johnny rings.
Alright.
You get kimono, Beyond 7, and Crown condoms, and an assortment in the most popular styles, all in one great tin. I am glad that...
Do you, pick the size of the condoms, or do you just get, a variety pack that are... half of them aren't going to fit you? I'm confused.
Well, apparently some are snugger fit, which I believe is, sugarcoating saying you have a small penis.
Wait, wouldn't that be saying you have a big penis because the condoms are small?
It's an illusion.
We have Beyond 7 studded, Beyond 7 with aloe, kimono micro thin with aqualube, micro thin large. Okay.
Oh God, this just needs to be read.
Which one?
To kick off the festivities of the release of our annual Condom Awards.
Wow.
Why is it annual? Why?
Why isn't it weekly?
Do this. This makes no sense.
No, have it every 9 months.
Oh, that's a good call. Oh, okay.
Which one should I read now that I'm not fighting a boss?
I think
the holidays.
I think we've had our fill for this year.
Alrighty. I'll read next year then.
Thank you, CondomDepot.com. You sponsored Ken once. That was cool.
And no one will ever let me forget it. Nor would I really want
to. Keep it with you through all time.
But condoms have an expiration date.
They do.
It doesn't matter. Casey had that drink, and I had an expiration date.
This is not the same thing.
Okay, so now that we got that out of our systems, my site's it. Okay, we're gonna do what we're doing. So what are we doing? Slicer.
Oh, okay. This is going to be a long segment to start on, but sure.
Okay.
First thing I did was finish Dead Rising 3 completely. Sort of, I guess. There's lost chapters in the DLC that I got with it. And it's just stories of the people that were in the city that died, because, you know, dead men tell no tales and all that. So it's like a sergeant, zombie correctional officer or something like that to make sure people have the chips to keep them from turning in them. Stuff like that. And I just didn't want to play them. I don't care. I'm not sure if the ending was just good enough, or yeah. So I just deleted the game. I'm done with it. I played it. It was okay.
It was okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Fair enough.
5 out of 10. It was okay. But, yeah. Next, Fate Zero, as in CERO, updated. It's Fate Zero bridged, and it's amazing. It's the episode where they first bring in Castor.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Oh, yeah. Crap, I don't have a link for that, but just Fate Zero. Just look that up on Google or YouTube. It's on YouTube.
Murdering children, yay, comedy.
Yeah. They sum up the entire exchange pretty nicely, actually. I'm not going to reveal anything, but they stick to canon personalities and goals, only turn it up to 11 for humor.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's my dog. My dog just...
on Saturday, I went to an archery range. The problem was it's in a warehouse, and it was not heated. So it was colder inside than it was outside, and that really sucked. I noticed, well, I'm still doing the yoga thing, so still working out. And I tried to find some music to go along with it, just to pass the time. And I found the Ruby Volume 1 soundtrack, and I cannot stop listening to it.
Yeah.
It's like, I found somebody who just crammed all the songs together in this like hour-and-a-half long video thing. And I have that open right now. It's, yeah, I just keep refreshing the page whenever I get through it, and just listen to it again.
Yeah.
Unlike the Anarchy Reigns one, there are no songs in that one I feel I need to skip because they're stupid or I don't like them.
Favorite track?
Probably Blake's theme.
From Shadows, I think.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Mostly just because it's the only one with lyrics that fit, I guess, or just with lyrics. No, wait. Weiss's has lyrics too.
As does Red Like Roses Part 2.
Right, yeah.
God, that one was harsh.
Yeah.
It's great, but it's harsh.
Yeah, it really is. Lastly, and the thing that's going to take the most time, I played Evil Within. And once again, I was given an answer to a question I did not ask. Can my computer run Evil Within? And the answer is turn the settings all the way down and then not have anything else open, or else the frame rate goes to absolute shit. So, yeah.
So basically the same answer as you got for Dead Rising, then.
I could have things open with Dead Rising, sort of, but not anything intensive. This is nothing. I could not have anything else open. Even like Word documents. It was ridiculous. Yeah. First off, movement is a bit weird. Once you're moving, it's fine. It's comfortable, and the sprinting is very seamless, even if you can only run for like 2.5 seconds at first. But when you start moving, it's weird because the direction your character is moving is the direction he's going to move, even if you're pressing forward and he's facing like diagonal backwards. So you can run into traps without meaning to, which is bad because you need those trap parts. The guns are good for the first quarter of the game. They have a nice kick to them, they do a good damage, and then they quickly lose effectiveness. Because in the late game, you're just pumping shotgun shells into things, and they don't care. The enemy AI is weird. Some of the enemies, it's almost like they try to flank you because they like run around instead of straight at you. Some of them do. I'm not sure if that's intentional or just a quirk of the AI, but it makes things irritating. In that I need to hunt down the enemies because I got trapped in a wall somewhere. Or something to that effect. The story...
mentioned the bosses. You mentioned the bosses before.
Yeah, that's... I was wrong before. All the bosses do damage to them to kill them, but almost all of them have gimmicks to do more damage.
Oh, right.
Like, there's a dog fight, and apparently, not foreshadowed or hinted at all, the rifle will cause it to, fall on its side when it's charging at you. And then you can just blast away at it with relative safety. And I did not figure this out at all. So I just used freeze bolts or something like that, I think, and then I just hurled grenades at it. Yeah.
It's one way to kill a dog, I suppose.
Yeah. That brings up another thing. Every enemy that isn't a basic villager has an insta-kill attack. So it doesn't matter how much health you have, you're dead instantly. And even the basic enemies that replace the villagers, these schizo multi-personality things, they have more two heads, they're kind of half squid. They have this, I don't know, pincer thing that erupts from them, and then in that state, they kill you if they get within 10 feet of you. It's terrible. I died 58 times on my playthrough. And I didn't keep track of that. That's the score that it tells you at the end. I'm not that neurotic. One thing I found really surprising was you have two partners. One of them, Joseph, he writes down everything. He's a smart guy. And Kidman, the female rookie officer, she has a white shirt, and it becomes very apparent she's wearing a black bra underneath it because you find her in a water tank, and she's wet for the next few scenes. And this is never highlighted or even really commented on. I was surprised at this. The only reason I noticed is because she opens a gate, and it looked like her... the gun holster she has on her upper chest, whatever, it looked weird. And then she turned around and there was a bra strap there, and it was interesting. So that was surprising. Yeah, I'm used to games just like having a camera angle focus on it or something.
Yeah, that's a games thing.
Yeah. I won't spoil the ending, but this is the most blatant sequel hook I have ever seen. Like, there is going to be another game.
Yeah, I was watching a playthrough and I read the wiki. I was just like, I don't even care about this game, so I don't care if I'm spoiled.
Yeah, I read the wiki as well, after I played it anyway.
Yeah. He's not wrong about that. Blatant sequel hook.
Mm-hmm.
If I could just test something for a couple of seconds.
Sure.
Yeah, we're fine.
All right.
I thought there was an echo for a little bit.
The story is... it's appropriately mysterious, I guess. You don't really understand what's going on until the very end, and even on your second playthrough, it's all kind of confusing still, because it's a lot of metaphors and interpretations, and this means this, and stuff like that. And lastly, the aiming in the game, as it's a third-person game, has issues with close-up combat, and that's where you're going to be fighting most of your enemies, so it's a pain in the ass. This is fixed by turning on easy mode, as I replayed the game in New Game Plus on easy, just to blast through everything, get an assessment of it. Yeah, that fixes it, like, easily. It's an enjoyable game on easy mode, instead of the frustrating mess that was normal mode. And that's my assessment of it. I would recommend it. It's not a bad game, but don't feel pushed into playing on normal mode just because normal. That's the difficulty people play on. It's okay to go easy mode. There's a lot of benefits to it, actually.
Okay. Anything else, Lisa?
No, that seems to be it.
Okay. I'll go next because why not? So I've been playing some more Dragon Age. It's still a good game. I was thinking of recording some of the multiplayer because why not? But who cares? It's kind of boring to watch anyway. So, I finally got the main hub location 25 hours into the game.
Wow.
Yeah, it took a while.
That's like Final Fantasy level.
Yeah, but, it's pretty awesome as hub locations go. I can see one gigantic flaw in the defenses, but I don't want to spoil anything because, it hasn't been 2 weeks yet. It's been like 1, I think. Comes out on Tuesdays in America, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I haven't kept up with it because I'm not going to play it.
No, games come out on Tuesdays, yes? Yeah, okay. So, yeah, it's been a week, not 2, so I can't really spoil it, but, yeah, there's a really big flaw in that structure's defenses, especially for a dragon, just saying.
Yeah, it kind of is.
Anyway, I found a character that I would really like to be a romance option. Dagna. I'm not entirely sure why. It's just something about the character. It's really appealing.
Are they hot?
Laura Bailey voiced.
Is that it? Is it Laura Bailey?
Maybe.
Yeah.
It might also be because the character is actually kind of exuberant and passionate about stuff, and it's kind of cool, and you don't see that in many of the other characters.
Fair enough.
She's actually happy to be there.
Yeah. So, that's kind of endearing. So, I would have liked that to be a romance option, but never mind.
Oh
Oh well.
Maybe next game.
Laura Bailey's a romance option. The game is good.
Also, it would be a dwarven romance option, which we have never had in the game before. Like, none of them.
You could, as a dwarf, you could flirt with Scout Harding, but that doesn't come into anything. That's about it.
Yeah. I think you can flirt with her regardless. A little bit.
A little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's a shame. I would have liked to see that. Because... reasons. So, Star Wars 7 teaser came out.
That crossguard thing drives me fucking nuts.
Yeah.
I like it.
I haven't seen the
Why?
trailer. That's all I know about it, honestly. But, yeah, that's...
It's a crossguard.
Okay, let's be real. The entire point of lightsabers and them being the Jedi weapon is because they're really fucking hard to wield without chopping your own fingers off, or arms, or anything. But now it has 2 extra blade-y parts on it that are right next to your fucking hand.
It's fine.
It's not like... It's a crossguard, if you touch it, it's fine. This one will slice your hands off. Or any part of you.
If you get disarmed, there is a damn good chance of that thing cutting your hand off as well. You would literally be disarmed if you got disarmed.
High risk, high reward.
Also,
Gambler lifestyle.
the part that has the blade come out of it is not at the... There's space there, so if a sword or lightsaber slid down the rest of the blade, it would just slice that off. It's not fulfilling its purpose at all.
That's another thing about this. There are materials in the Star Wars universe that can block lightsaber strikes. They exist.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why they didn't.
Why isn't the crossguard made of that?
Because it looks cooler.
Damn it.
We know those Sith, they're all about looking cool.
So yeah.
Yeah, and
that
they
was dumb.
did look cool until this.
I don't know. I like it. I'm not trying to look too deep into it. I'm just enjoying it.
Mr. Swords.
Yeah. So, aside from that, I did like the trailer. Aside from that, I liked the little R2-D2 ball thing. That was cool. Millennium Falcon is a bit too clean for my liking.
But you know what? Maybe they decided to clean it up with all that money they got after taking down the Empire, right?
All that money from the Ewoks.
All that money from the
Is
Ewoks.
Is it the same Millennium Falcon, or is it like a ship made to the designs of that one?
It's the same one.
It's just... Oh.
It's going to be the same
I think
one.
should be a,
How is that
I think
thing
should be
still
a
around?
junker.
Hasn't it been, like,
I think should be
80
a
years?
junker.
Yeah.
It was a junker in the first
I
three
know,
films.
it should be worse. That'd be great.
Even if not, it should be way outdated by now. I mean...
That's the thing with the Star Wars universe, though. It's never outdated. Everything looks kind of rustic space tech.
I guess once you reach a certain level of technology, there's really nowhere to go further, so that sort of makes sense.
Yeah, so I liked it, but fucking hell, that cross guard. Really? Yeah. My notes literally say, lightsaber with a light cross guard. Dumb! That was my first impression.
Yeah, it's not great.
So, The Flash, still a TV show.
I have not been watching it.
It's actually getting better.
Hmm.
So, good for that. It's actually doing interesting things a little bit. The writers still can't write a romantic lead for shit, though.
Oh.
Yeah. They have pretty much the same problem they did with Laurel Lance in Arrow. So, oh well. They can replace her with another female character, I guess, like they did in Arrow.
What was the problem with her?
Which one?
The one in Arrow.
She was boring and angry at everyone all the time, and terribly written.
Ah.
She was very fond of making really dumb metaphors. For example, you know, Ollie, I was on an island too for those 5 years.
That's past bad. That's just outright offensive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She would say things like that a lot, and it was not endearing, let's say that much. So, yeah, no one liked her. To the point where they made someone else Black Canary for an entire season.
Wow.
Yeah. But now she's training with Wildcat, and that's actually kind of interesting, so they're improving on that front, at least in Arrow. I'll wait to see with Flash, because her last name is West,
Mm-hmm.
the romantic interest in The Flash. I feel like that's significant. I'm not sure why yet, because there is no Wally West in the series.
I was going to say, isn't the Flash Wally West?
In this one, it's Barry Allen, which was the one before Wally West, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, so I don't know whether that's significant, but we'll see, I guess. Next up on my notes is... Oh, yeah. You remember that series, The Games We Play, the Ruby Fic? That's Game of Fic?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of sad that in my mind, when I remember, oh, hey, there's going to be a new The Games We Play, I actually think, oh, hey, there's going to be a new Ruby. Yeah. It's pretty bad that a fanfiction has surpassed the original series in my eyes.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, though. I mean...
The writers of Ruby really need to step up their game. Let's be real. The plot has not actually done anything.
Not really, no. It's all been pretty much set up at this point.
But 2 seasons of setup is a lot of setup. Come on.
Yeah.
Some events of consequence would be nice, please.
Well, okay, how long did it take to set up the serious aspect of Red versus Blue, though?
In fairness, Red vs. Blue was a dumb little internet show before internet shows were actually something other than dumb.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they weren't trying to set anything up. They weren't trying to tell a story for most of those seasons at all.
All right, yeah, that's fair.
But this started off before it was even a thing, before they were even storyboarding it. Monty was thinking of plot elements that he could bring into it. This was going to be a story from the outset, and it's taking a while to get there.
Yeah.
So, also, please stop bringing in characters that no one cares about.
Please, stop that.
I don't care about Team Coffee, or whatever you're calling them.
Okay, I actually think the leader of Team Coffee is badass. But, I mean, come on.
Yeah, she's kind of cool, but still, are they really going to bring in yet another team?
I think they were just brought in for the fight, but I don't know.
Whatever. Okay, so...
One thing. The big reveal about Dust, I didn't like that. That universe can't keep going if that happens. I don't like it.
It can. Through expansion, yes it can, but it requires humanity to be more proactive in fighting the Grimm.
Yeah, more offensive. But it's not enough to kill the fic for me, but I definitely don't like that reveal.
I liked it. It makes sense, is the thing.
I suppose it's a way to raise the stakes, but yeah.
Okay, Log Horizon. So...
Shit, I have not kept up on that at all.
Yeah, same here.
Really? We see real-life Shiroway.
Really?
Really?
Doesn't he look exactly the same, just shorter?
No. Well, it's a character design, isn't it? You design your own character when you start the game, and that's why Shiroway in the game is taller than real life, because he designed his character.
Right.
To be that. He also doesn't have pseudo-elf ears.
Well, yeah, naturally. I thought it was like he just wanted to be the game version of himself, just taller, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He's, he probably doesn't look weird normally, but, it's because we've seen him as a different design for so long that it looks strange. Also, he is a dark, almost blue-black colored hair, and his last name is Shirogane. Just saying, crossover writers. Have fun with that.
That's a lot to. Oh boy, I could do a lot with that.
Okay, so also, holy shit, Log Horizon is Dark Souls. Like, even above and beyond the whole you start losing your memories thing that it has. It's like, after dying, some force is actively trying to get you to give up.
Wow.
And sap away your will. So, it is totally Dark Souls. I don't know how to feel about that, but I kind of like it. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah. Hokkaido Master has asked me to do another fic criticism, because apparently people like that for some utterly baffling reasons.
Some people are masochists.
Yeah, so I've gotten to start on that. I'm going to take a bit more time with it than I did last time.
I just want to say, you can ask me for criticism too. I mean, I can be harsh. I can. It's just I put my harsh criticism in a nice way. It's not that I'm like, oh, your story is good, even though it's terrible. I will tell you your story needs to be fixed. This is how you can do it, but I will tell you in a way that doesn't make you pissed at me.
Yeah, but they want the real story, Zero.
They want to be abused. They like it.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. I've read the first two chapters, and it's okay. It's not something I would normally read, but it's fine. I've given some commentary on what I've seen so far, so I'll get back to that at some point. Hopefully I'll have finished it by the time this comes out, but whatever. We'll see what happens. I do have stuff going on at the moment. That's pretty much it for me. So, Zero.
Hold on, one thing. I won't spoil anything, but in The Walking Dead, did anybody else think the people making the deal, that the dialogue they had was code? Everyone in my family thought that was, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of gave off that feeling, yeah.
All right, you can go now.
All right. So, we had Thanksgiving. But before that, on Wednesday, we went over and we saw the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. They were performing, and they were performing their new Christmas album, or their third one, rather. The one which is less direct references to Christmas and more original stuff. And it starts with them coming out they have this whole storyline about this little girl who goes up into this house, and she goes through the attic, and she finds this big, humongous, basically treasure chest, and starts going through the stuff in there because she's a nosy little girl. And they have this humongous chest on stage, and it just opens up, and the band comes out through there. And they got singers, and they got guitars, and it was fantastic. And then you think it's over. They end the whole Christmas story, and we're like, and people start giving a standing ovation, and like, you guys want to see something cool? And then they start with the rock, and it's just, and they did Beethoven's Last Night stuff. So they started doing the classical with, they did Hall of the Mountain King, and
I love that one.
They had like dragons on the screens just crawling around, and they had these giant things that lifted them up into the sky, and like, so they were playing guitars while they were being like flung over the audience, and it was great. Utterly fantastic. I love the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, and although the Christmas part was kind of putting me to sleep at some parts, the second half really made up for it. Also, and then on Thursday I had Thanksgiving. Nothing too much to note there. My grandma couldn't come like she usually does, and same with my grandpa. So it was just my regular family, and I cleaned that turkey leg in probably the fastest time I think I've ever done. And then I went back
an unhealthy amount of turkey, which is pretty much the Thanksgiving tradition.
I went back for thirds, and then I stopped myself so we would have leftovers.
That's a good policy.
So
leftovers are great too.
Yeah, my mom and dad were like, "Oh man, I'm so full." My dad just went upstairs and straight passed out, and I'm just like, I could go on for more. Yeah, we have some really good stuffing. It's homemade. Really love it. Also, let's see, something else I was trying to remember. Oh yeah, Persona Q. I'm playing that. My brother got it, and he initially didn't like it because it's kind of like I think it's a cross with Etrian Odyssey, more so in the way it plays. We have to draw your own map.
I like Etrian Odyssey. It's also like
SMT.
Strange Journey, yeah.
Where you have to draw your own map. It's first person type dungeon crawler. I'm really liking it. And poison is so broken in this game. I got Persona with Impure Reach, which increases susceptibility of enemies to, status effects or whatever, or increases your effectiveness. And I got like a poison move. And there's these big monsters in there called FOEs, which are these super big monsters that you're supposed to run away from and you come back to afterwards to kill them. Well, I just go up there, poison them, and they die really fast if you just keep poisoning them. Like, I can deal like a maximum of maybe 100 damage with my party at the time. Poison them, takes 300 damage. What? Alright. We're getting somewhere.
Make a note to link the FOE song, because that's great.
So, poison, you kill the FOEs, you get a high-level persona, a rare material, and a crap ton of experience. So, using that poison exploit, I used that to basically kind of break the game a little bit.
That's always fun.
And I come out of the second dungeon, and I'm massively overleveled. I have way too much money, and my personas are like at least 10 levels higher than what they should be. Because in that game you have secondary personas. Everybody can have a secondary persona, but your main character can't have more than 2. Like all the characters can't have more than 2. It's a fair way of balancing it. And I'm having a lot of fun with it. You can do strolls where you go and you can interact with your team members. And there's 2 new characters introduced in it called Zen and Rei. And they are the blandest characters ever. Oh my gosh. It's like somebody snuck in a couple of OCs in there.
What character archetype are they?
Okay, so Zen and Rei, obviously, so Zen's a dude, Rei's the little blonde girl. Rei loves food. That's about it. She loves food and she loves Zen. That's about it there. That's about it to her character development. That's about all you're ever going to get. I don't think she can go without saying food in every other line.
For steak?
It's really, really bad. And their endings, the thing they say when they're at the end of the battle, is also so annoying that my brother could not handle them in his party.
Wow.
Because Rei's like, oh man, it's something about food, and then Zen's like, that's so like you, Rei. And it's just, and Zen's like the big, quiet, brooding dude, but all he cares about is protecting Rei, and that's about it. That's it to his character.
Okay, so ignore the new characters. That's
Yeah, they're really. I feel like they're trying to force them down your throat sometimes, but you don't have to put them in your party at all, which is a nice thing. Also, when starting, you can choose to play from the Persona 3 perspective or Persona 4 perspective, where you choose your initial party members. You can play as Minato as the main character, Yuna Akami or Soji Seda.
Do you get to name them?
Yes, you get to name both of them.
Good.
And Yuna Akami doesn't fit.
That's awesome.
Soji Seda does, though.
Then best name reigns supreme, I guess.
Minato Arisato doesn't fit, but Minato does. So I just used the last name of the protagonist from the movie.
Which one is that?
It's Makoto Yuki. I just added Yuki onto it, because why not? So, it's a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. And, yeah, I recommend it. If you know anything about Persona. If you don't, it also takes place in Persona 3, like after Yakushima, where you have everybody, but it's before everything bad happens to the party. Like Chidori is still alive in the hospital.
She survived the game, didn't she?
No.
Didn't she?
No. She sacrificed.
Wait, she can survive the end of the game, but she can also die.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a choice you can make where she can survive the end of the game. It was in the social link guide that I used when I played the game.
I know Shinjiro could survive if he took the female route on P3P, but...
Yeah. That was only in P3P. This was in Fest that I was playing it, so yeah, I think she can survive.
No, I'll have to check up on that. But, yeah, she's still in the hospital. Shinji isn't dead. So they're pretty cool right now. Like, you can see a noticeable difference between the two casts of characters where, like, Persona 4 is like, yeah, we're all working together to solve a crime and we're all best friends. And the Persona 3 cast is like, oh, you guys really get along. Yeah. That's good for you. It's not like I hold a grudge against Mitsu for possibly being responsible behind the murder of my father. Or it's not, for Yukari. It's like Ken secretly hates Shinjiro and wants to kill him, and it's not like...
It's not like Shinjiro may or may not have killed Akihiko's sister or something.
He may or may not be on drugs. Yeah.
No, he was on drugs. That was
yeah, he is, yeah. So,
we're all super best friends, too.
We're super...
Guys?
Yeah. Like, you can notice there's a different tone between the characters a little bit. Like, not like they made it a lot lighter for the Persona 3 cast, but you can tell that there's just some points where it's like, yeah, we're not like them. It's like we're going to stop the Dark Hour even if it costs us our lives. The Persona 4 cast is like, whoa, what? You're going to save the world? You cost your lives, man. I don't know if I can do that.
It's kind of intense, dude.
Yeah, and I just love that. I love the little interactions. Oh, and they also found out that they're from different timelines, and so Junpei's like, I'm your senpai, call me your senpai, and Naoto's like, no, you're not my senpai.
Yeah.
So I love the interactions. It's very, like, the interactions with the characters are very well done, with the exception of the Zen and Rei stuff, because that gets really annoying.
Mm-hmm.
He would technically be a senpai, though, even then, because he's a second year and she is a first year.
Yeah, but Naoto does not agree to that. And Fuka joins in with the bad cooks. of Persona 4.
Ah, great.
Great.
That running gag.
That was great. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just had to do a side quest where I had to actually make the food, so that they did not poison and kill Yosuke, and they ended up making dipping sauce instead, which still ended up poisoning and killing him.
Right.
So
And you know, poison's OP in that game, apparently.
it is. I'm not joking. You see these FOEs, I'm like, oh cool, I'm going to go fight them, and they're like mini boss fights. But if you just use poison, you're fine. And there's also you can use skills from your navigator. So if you choose Risei, you get different skills. If you choose Fuka, you get different skills, and you can equip them with secondary personas, which give them more navigation skills.
Ken's getting antsy because you have talked about
All right,
Persona
sorry,
for like 15
I'm sorry.
minutes.
No,
okay.
I've been folded leg for like 45 minutes.
Ooh, ouch.
But yeah, there's Fuka has a skill that allows you to heal over a set period of turns.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Although, apparently Ken wasn't getting antsy, we have talked about the minutiae of this game.
All
That's
right.
15 minutes.
So other than that, I went and I saw my sister on Sunday, and that was real nice because she's currently recovering from doing some really bad drugs and alcohol.
Right.
So she's in this Christian place, and she's clean, and she's like a completely different person. It's like the person I knew my entire life is somebody different, which is weird. She came up and hugged me. My sister never hugs me. She's usually the person who's like, if I go try to hug her, she's like, It's weird. So, yeah, that was my week. I spent too long talking about Persona, but I'm really excited about this game.
Maybe we should have stuck with the Persona thing just on second blush of that. Anyway, so, Ken.
Yeah, I've done nothing always but work. This is holiday season, so everyone's taking time off. So guess who's bottom totem pole?
Right.
This is the first day off. This is the first day off I've had in a week.
Tuesdays.
I probably would have had overtime, except remember how I told you I missed last Sunday?
No.
Yeah.
But okay.
I missed last Sunday because I totally forgot I thought I was supposed to work that Monday instead of that Sunday, so I didn't get that day.
No.
So no overtime.
So you're just making up hours then?
No, these were all scheduled. They just didn't care that I missed that day, so I was like, all right, cool.
All right then.
We only had one show that day, so it was like we didn't really need an assistant producer that day anyway. We only had one show. Like, all right, cool. And yeah.
Okay. Moving on then.
Right.
Okay, so first topic for the topics that we're doing, for the 3 topics, because the first topic is recapping events in your story. So, as I mentioned before, people have asked me to critique their stories for, again, some incomprehensible reason. And there has been a common thing between the two of them. I haven't really paid attention to realize whether this is a common thing all around, but it seemed worth mentioning. How to recap events in your story. So that means a character is retelling events to someone else, whether that be something that the audience has seen already or not.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's say, for example, a character wants to tell another character what happened to a family member before they died, and this other family member doesn't know about it yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, that kind of situation where it's just one character telling another character about events that have already happened. Simple concept. Surprisingly, a surprising number of people seem to struggle with how to handle this without The problem I've seen most is getting a bit too wrapped up in the events in the retelling and ignoring the retelling itself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
So what ends up happening is all of it's dialogue, and there is no
Reaction or
there's
commentary from anyone
there's
involved.
no reaction. There's no reaction from the storyteller or from the person that's listening to the story being told. You don't get any interaction between the two characters. It is all about these events. It's like it should have been a flashback, but they decided not to do a flashback.
In that situation, it would be for the sake of not being a flashback, which is, don't write things just to spite other things. That's,
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't say that, considering I do that all the time. Right.
So, the thing is, in a flashback, you lose ongoing reactions of someone hearing about something happening. So, if you're not going to do a flashback, which is a valid choice...
It is.
I mean, difference between doing flashbacks and not doing flashbacks is a flashback is, this is how events happened. The implication is, this is an accurate retelling. Whereas, if it's just someone saying something happened, it's entirely possible, nay probable, that there's some bias in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, the bias might be because of that's how a certain person saw it, and that's how they're retelling it.
Yeah.
Or it might be so that they get a specific reaction from the person they're telling it to.
This is two humans talking. It's not a machine telling a story.
I look at it like
Human
this.
memory comes into play as well. What was that?
Yeah.
I look at it like this. You do a flashback when the event is the most important thing taking place at the time. You use the actual conversation of the explanation you're telling, one character telling another character about this event happening instead of actually showing it in the flashback, when the response and the character's reaction to it itself is what you're actually focused on. What actually matters.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
And in fact, now that you've said that, credit to... I forgot the name of the author. The fic that I recommended last week. The Code Geass time travel fic. Once again, with...
Zero's Requiem, I think it was?
Once More with Feeling or something like that. Anyway, yeah. He did do exactly what Ken just said. It was, grand scheme of things, not a big event in terms of the story. It was all about those two characters talking about... it was Callan's dad telling Callan about when her brother Naoto first decided he was going to be a rebel. And how he left the family, as it were. And grand scheme of things had no impact on the story overall, these events. But it was very important for those two characters that were having that conversation. So he did the right thing by focusing on the conversation and not on the events in the past. But he forgot the part where you have to tell the reactions. You have to show the emotions of the characters and what they're going through and how they're reacting, how the dad feels about reminiscing about all this stuff that happened, because it wasn't an unamicable split. It was a split, but they separated on good terms. So there might be some difficulty between, I let my son go into a situation where he got himself killed, and I allowed him to go because it was something that he really believed in and wanted to do, and I'm proud of him for sticking to his principles like that. So it was a very interesting situation that he could have delved into with the character, but he didn't because he got too focused on retelling events.
Which is easy to do if you're making all of it up, if it's not a canon event.
Yeah.
And even if it is a canon event, it's one that isn't given a whole lot of details for.
Yeah, because if you have to create it whole cloth, then you have to focus on creating it, and then the characters themselves sort of fall by the wayside for the time being while you're focused on that. And I don't know, maybe he didn't do like a read-through, maybe he didn't do a second pass or anything like that. I don't know. But it ended up focusing on the wrong thing entirely by accident, I imagine. So it's something to be wary of, probably. I mean, Ken's absolutely right about the different situations calling for different methods. I mean, flashbacks are okay, but there are situations where you shouldn't use them because the events aren't important.
Mm-hmm.
Zero was very quiet for this topic. How unusual.
Well, first of all, like for flashbacks, honestly, I'm one to very rarely use them because a lot of the time I go in, I try to cover everything as in depth as I can, and like if I would use a flashback, it would actually tend to be for a canon event because I tend to skip some of those by switching viewpoints. And and that would be just a waste. So I just decide I'll just straight out tell the character what happened and get their reaction to it, because I don't need to cover that again. Like I think I've used a flashback once in my main fic, and that was just because there was something I needed a character to tell another character, but I kind of had already moved past that point where they could have done it. So. Yeah, that's my take on it.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, even in that situation, there are still situations where flashbacks will be appropriate. So, like things that happened before canon started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, to use your fic in particular, I imagine you're going to have to do some when Ikutsuki starts to reveal some of his true colors, as it were.
Yeah. But so far, not like I will have to use flashbacks to refer to some things, and especially to refer to times periods that I skipped over. Because I did a couple time skips in the beginning of chapters just so he could get going instead of spending all my time focusing on before the story, which a lot of people tend to do and get lost in, and I'm scared of that.
Yeah. It's an easy trap to fall into.
So, yeah.
Okay. Next topic then?
Sure.
Okay, so this is the only one answered.
All right. You want me
Sure.
to say? You want me to answer? I'll answer. Yes.
Participation, yay!
Shut up.
Alright. Next topic is one that's been on the list for a long time. The fan disliked explanation. Midichlorians.
I was about to go there.
Yep. That's the poster child for this one, yeah.
Yeah, it is. Also, all of the war arc for Naruto. Just
Yeah.
whole thing.
I didn't need you to explain most of that stuff. I would have been fine with none of it.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... Yeah, this is the thing that fans didn't ask for. Well, it's not necessarily things that we didn't ask for. It's just things that we didn't want to know.
Mm.
I mean, if the writers had set that up in advance, and that was their explanation, that doesn't change the fact that it's something we didn't like.
Yeah.
Didn't need to know that Hashirama was stupid. He was much better as an ideal of sorts for Sokage.
I'm also not a fan of how they kept giving techniques to people in the past, like the Hiraishin being the second Hokage's thing.
Yeah, that probably counts as a fan-disliked explanation of the origin of that technique. We had an origin of that technique. It was the fourth Hokage, and we were okay with that.
Didn't need that to be retconned, yeah.
Yeah, so... what makes a fan-disliked explanation? What makes it something that the fans really don't appreciate?
Something that goes against fanon, first off. Usually. If there's established fanon already in place, people kind of expect that. Which is silly, I guess, but still.
A little bit. Well, a lot of the time fanon is common sense rationalizations for plot holes or for unexplained things.
Yeah, it is. Usually, yeah.
Yeah, so it's understandable how fans might get attached to it if the explanation isn't the common sense one.
Yeah, if the explanation does not, if your explanation makes less sense than what fans perceive it to be before you tell them what it is, it's not going to be liked.
Yeah.
And then other times, I think it's just sometimes origins, like when they're left a mystery, they get built up to such an extent that nothing you come up with is actually going to live up to it.
Also true. Yeah, sometimes keeping the mystery is a good idea. Unless you absolutely have to go into it, and then it's a necessary evil at that point.
And Slices pretty much hit the nail on the head for the other thing, keeping things a mystery.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't need or want an explanation. And this was the midichlorian situation. The Force was the fantasy element in this sci-fi story. No one really knew how it worked, but it worked.
Nobody cared how it worked.
Yeah. And it made interesting things possible. And then they decided to explain it away as... what was it? Microorganisms?
Microorganisms that penetrate us and bind us.
What he said.
Sexual.
Ew. Ew.
Them Jedi fetuses.
The Force is sexy.
I guess.
Of course, that also means that Qui-Gon Jinn technically bound and penetrated Anakin Skywalker.
Isn't that literally the canon reason he's so screwed up? Is because that's how he got his Force powers?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't supposed... That's an interesting thing. Apparently, Anakin wasn't supposed to have the Force, so...
Wait, doesn't that mean him being the prophecy child makes no sense at all?
Technically, he was... The prophecy was that someone would come along and bring balance to the Force.
Oh.
Which, yeah. Kind of, well, no.
He brought balance in the sense that there was nothing left, essentially.
No, yeah, that's right. There was, 3 light side and 2 dark side, so yeah. It's pretty balanced. It was more balanced than it was before, certainly. Yeah. No one liked the midichlorians explanation. There's a lot of explanations in the expanded universe of Star Wars that was a lot better received than midichlorians was.
Mm.
That's saying something. Yeah, George Lucas basically screwed up his own series with that one explanation that no one asked for.
The problem with George Lucas's stuff is he gets bored. Or something to that effect, it seems like. He starts throwing things in because they're interesting, and they don't make sense a lot of the time.
Yeah. I was going to say something. What was it? Expanded universe thing. I've completely forgotten what I was saying.
Right.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Oh, that was it. It was the explanation that no one asked for. So if no one's asking for you to explain something, don't explain it.
Even more so when there's plenty of material that you would be making non-canon. I mean, they did eventually, because now that every expanded universe is non-canon because of the new
that was a
movies.
decision.
But yeah, that's something else entirely.
I'm giving an example of where the creator was forced to explain something and it ended up being disliked.
Was that?
Apparently, yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4. The movie that you all despise.
I don't really despise it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Casey despises it.
I don't care either. It's just that everyone else cares about it so much when they really, really shouldn't. It's not special. It's not interesting. It's not worth acknowledging, but everyone does.
Yeah. Because Kojima didn't even want to make that game. He wanted to stop after Metal Gear Solid 2.
Could you adjust your mic a little bit?
Oh, hold on.
Which is, honestly, it's probably the best thing. If the creator of something feels that they're done, then don't force them to do another one, because it's going to be really bad quality. Or...
Yeah, they'll either do it badly to spite you, or they'll do it badly because they're not interested.
Yeah. If they're done, they're out of ideas, assumedly.
Which could mean one of two things. Either you finish the story, or you get someone else to continue the story. There's probably good and bad examples of both, so...
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of any other fan-disliked ones.
I can't think of a situation where someone else took over someone else's work and it was great. Or super awesome. Like, bang, bang, way to go. This is better.
Right.
Well, better, probably not, but still good is okay.
Wasn't that what happened with the Dust writer? Or not Dust, Dune, that's it. The creator died and his children took up after him with his notes or something like that?
I don't know. I believe that is what happened with Hitchhiker's Guide. A family member finished the last book, maybe? Something like that. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. They wrote the last book and it was okay.
Yeah.
If it's the last one, as long as it's not terrible, I can... That's commendable.
Yeah, we might end up with that situation with Game of Thrones. Well, Song of Ice and Fire, fucking TV show. But, you know, if he wants to write slowly, that's his prerogative. You can't rush that kind of thing. Jesus Christ, no. I've been saying that a lot today. Don't know why. Yeah, so I guess we're moving on to the next topic. Unless anyone's got any other fan-disliked explanations that they would like to throw out.
I'm still trying to think, but none of them come to mind, unfortunately. Because I don't like them, I don't think about them, so I put them out of my mind.
I don't think there's any for Harry Potter, so, you know. Oh! The taboo thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That probably counts. To some people. I mean, some people thought it was okay, I think. But meh.
There are things in Harry Potter that I don't like, but again, I can't think of any of them.
Yeah. Alright, so, next topic is about the Blood Knight character. Lives to fight and stuff. Basically.
Yeah.
Usually fan favorites.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah, okay. Probably.
I think my opinion of them can be summed up easily. I hate them if they're obsessed with a fair fight.
That's an
Okay.
interesting position to take. You just hate
Elaborate,
White Knight
please.
characters?
All right. For instance, it happens all the time in DBZ, specifically Vegeta. I guess he always does stuff to get a fair fight or a challenge or anything, and it just drives me fucking nuts. The entire Cell thing got as bad as it did because he let it happen. I'm really surprised Gohan didn't kill him for it. Actually,
He
considering
enabled
Goku
Cell.
ended up dying.
Honestly, I think at that point Gohan might have. Did Gohan witness him doing that? I can't remember.
No,
I don't
Trunks
think so,
was
but
there.
I'm pretty sure everyone knew. Trunks might have told everyone. I can't remember.
Vegeta the Enabler.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. About... I know Slicer just gave an example, but the heroic Blood Knight character. Thoughts on that?
You'll have to specify on that. I'm not sure what you mean.
When a character is supposedly a good guy, but just loves to fight, lives to fight, often literally bathes in blood, but good guy. Hellsing's probably an example.
I don't know. I don't really root for anybody in Hellsing.
I haven't watched it, I just know he's probably an example.
They're not really heroic.
Like I say, I don't watch it.
Like, the heroes in Hellsing aren't really heroic. It's just the people that are fighting want World War III.
Doesn't that kind of make you heroic by default, though?
Maybe? I don't really know. Yeah, I suppose it does. They're Nazis. All right.
Godwin, 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 Godwin.
Yeah, I don't really like heroic blood Knight
Yeah.
characters that are put in a heroic position. I'm thinking of Revy now. Or like Black Lagoon. I'm not a Revy fan either. So
Blood Knight characters, like, to make them into a good guy, it's usually just they're fighting, but they're fighting to get stronger, I guess. Like, if you, like, good guy Blood Knights are like, I want to get stronger. I won't kill you. You can come back and fight me when you're stronger, okay? And everybody's happy, sort of. Whereas you got the other Blood Knights who are just like, yeah, I'm gonna murder you because you were weaker than me.
Yeah.
As Death from the Coming Out Kill is a good example.
A lot of characters that are Blood Knights tend to be neither good nor evil, in the traditional roles anyway. They sort of just go with whatever lets them have the most fun.
Yeah.
Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter is probably a really good example, because the protagonist and his best friend are like 10 or 12 or something, and he's like, wow, when these two actually grow up and become adults that aren't tiny and weak, they're going to be pretty fucking tough, and I kind of want to fight them when they're the best. Okay, I'll try and keep them alive for a little while.
Yeah.
my favorite.
And then he gets a
reason, I
boner
suppose.
from seeing how strong they get.
Oh, okay, that's a little far.
That actually happened.
Wow. Like, literally an erection?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Yeah. Battle of the Bulge.
If you had to pick one,
Really, Daryl?
God. Alright, if you had to pick one that you know of, which one would you pick?
What, a Blood Knight?
Yeah, that you like.
Hisoka's a fun character.
He is. And so is Kenpachi.
Yeah, he's the easy choice. I was about to say Kenpachi's
Yeah.
the easy one.
I've been trying this whole time not to mention his name, because it's so easy to mention. Hidan, likewise, is an example. Not a good one, but he's an example.
Sort of, his thing isn't battles, but I mean, yeah, he fits that role.
Damn. This is a hard choice.
Luciano Bradley from Code Geass is literally a Blood Knight. If memory serves, his title was the Knight of Blood or something. His unofficial title, anyway.
I suppose, likewise, the supposedly main character from Resurrection Princess. That's kind of his whole thing.
Oh, yeah. The supposedly main character. That manga ended, and it was kind of a weird ending.
Is it an ending or a sequel ending?
It's an ending. It's like, okay, yeah, I feel like it got canceled kind of ending.
Yeah. So it's a Gecko ending. It's we ran out of time / money / patience from our editors, so we're going to end it now.
Yeah, at least from what I remember.
It happens.
Didn't really go anywhere.
Do you think the Gurren Lagann characters count as Blood Knights?
Yes.
I don't know, honestly. I don't think so. It's close, and they have shades of it, definitely, but I don't think they would count.
Viral probably is an example.
Oh, yeah.
That was a cool character.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I say that about a show that's filled with cool characters, so, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, instead like that, yeah, he was an interesting character. I was thinking too hard about in comparison to everyone else, but I shouldn't think like that, because it's comparing an A grade to an A grade.
It's a pretty high bar.
I'm trying to think of someone that's not Kenpachi. He kind of broke the scale here.
He can feel it, your hardness. I love that image. Context, it's important.
Yeah, that's something, all right.
Okay, younger Tagoro. He just wants Yusuke to kill him. He just wants Yusuke to be strong.
Yes, I can second that. Because Tagoro is a big cool guy, and at the same time, you don't really know if he's good or bad at the end.
No, he's pretty clearly evil.
At the very end, they kind of leave it a little bit open.
I don't know. The thing that stands out the most in that entire arc was him consuming the crowd to keep fighting. So, I mean, I might be a bit biased.
Well, they're all demons. The crowd's all demons that want everyone to die anyway, so fuck.
Well, fair enough.
What's the name? One Piece. That guy in the pink stuff. Don something.
Kyoji?
Doflamingo?
No,
the fucking...
That's the one. I was thinking Don Flamingo. Not, it's Doflamingo because they're weird.
I don't really see him as a Blood Knight.
He kind of is. A little bit. He kills a lot of people for the fun of it. So...
Yeah, but he has actual plans and schemes and stuff.
I'll be honest, I haven't caught up to One Piece yet, obviously, so I don't know what he's done since the time skip, basically.
Yeah, he has plans. He's not just doing it for the lulz.
Oh. I kind of wish he was.
He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care, but...
No, he doesn't care what I want. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah. I like that character. It's a little strange, but it's a cool character.
You just like all the pink and feathers.
I like the sunglasses and the really creepy smile.
Alrighty, fair enough then.
Yeah, it's good. It's good for a creepy character.
Is that creepy or just unsettling? Because that is two different things.
He's creepy.
Alright.
And unsettling. He's both, actually. Yeah. So, I guess that's Blood Knight characters. We didn't really talk all that. Maybe a little bit more planning might have been in order, but cares.
Oh well.
If anything, if anybody really needs this too, we can always go back to it at a later time.
Mm-hmm. Or just suggest Blood Knights, and we can give our opinions on them if we know them.
Yeah. Alright. Questions. We got 3 questions. So, first question from Neil. Well, first and second, technically, but first question from Neil. How do we think Pokemon will end? It'll get cancelled by the network.
It will. Yeah, that's the ending I see.
Those aren't going to end until either the game stop being made or it just gets canceled. Yeah.
They're gonna have one of their usual seasons to tie in with the game, and then, or vaguely tie in, like this series happening in Kalos. That's about it.
Yeah.
And
Misty
then
is going to murder Ash. And Charizard's going to eat his corpse.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, it's just going to be open-ended like that. He's going to lose another tournament, and then the next season is going to be talked about or something.
They're not going to have another one. That's how it's going to end.
Yeah.
He's going to go back to Pallet Town and find that it was all razed to the ground. He's going to go on a mission of vengeance and die in the end.
I would watch that. I would totally watch that. It's like Pokemon Hardcore Edition or something.
You realize you just summed up half of the summary of the opening of a fic that I recommended before.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Misty dies in that one, so fuck it.
I actually didn't know that was a fic.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fics.
That's Champion of the Sun.
Yeah, that's it. I knew it was something with the sun.
Or the Sun Soul. The Sun Soul.
I was just saying, that's the typical, I feel like, boy goes out to do stuff in the field, comes back, his town is burning, goes on a mission for revenge. That's the typical setup for most
generic
stories.
RPG startup number 1.
That is Hero's Journey. That's exactly what it is. You can't go home again. That is literally the trope. Yeah. So, yeah. It'll have a season. It won't have another one. That's how it's going to end. It's not going to... There's not going to be a big, hey, you actually won once. You're the Pokemon Master. No, it's not going to happen.
No. Hell no.
Nor should it, because Ash kind of sucks. Let's be real here.
There's no kind of about it.
The only time I would ever accept that is if they have a massive time skip and Ash is shown to be competent.
Yeah, but then they need to acknowledge time passing. Speaking of, how do we explain Ash not aging?
See how I tied that together? It was nice.
Nice segue.
It was completely unintentional, but I'm going to take credit for it.
Yeah.
Professor Oak has like a laboratory under his laboratory full of pods with Ash clones. Ash dies in the field all the time. The start of each season is just him releasing a new Ash into the wild to continue.
That's why the character designs changed so slightly.
He took Ash's blood. He took Ash's blood when Ash first showed up to get Pikachu because he knew this kid was going to die. But somehow Ash made it through the Indigo Plateau and stuff. This was the competent Ash. Ash died somewhere after Johto, and they released a new one to go to Hoenn.
No, Ash died in the initial encounter with Pikachu. When Pikachu did the electricity and they killed all the Pidgeys or Beedrill or whatever, Spearows, I don't care. They killed all the animals. Ash died there, and Professor Oak put a clone in his stead.
That's the main Ash that's the Ash from Kanto to Johto that we know of. He died before going to Hoenn. Oak released a new one, and Ash keeps dying in these new places because he sucks. So he keeps releasing.
Pokemon is Dark Souls.
It also explains why he never seems to improve in his strategy ever.
Because he starts back at square one, literally?
Yeah.
He has to relearn everything every episode.
Yeah, he has to relearn all of his shit every time he goes somewhere. That's why he asks retarded questions he already learned the answer to 3 seasons ago.
I like this theory, actually. It's nice. Answers a lot of questions that don't have any answers.
That's why he's always amazed the first time he sees a Pidgey in a new region, despite the fact he's seen it a billion times.
That's why he's always amazed when he finds out what a type advantage is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think there's a couple of common theories for why Ash doesn't age, aside from it's a kid show.
I think I like the one where he's a youth vampire or whatever. He sucks the life
Yeah,
energy out of his
like,
veins.
it's like a sort of
Why you switching
reverse
from every
succubus.
season?
Yeah, that's not the same as an incubus, by the way. Yeah, it's sort of a reverse succubus that steals the life force of the girls that he travels with, and really creepy story, but yeah, it's an explanation, certainly.
Oh gosh.
And he sends them back home when he's done with them.
Yeah.
That's why they never travel with him for more than a season. Proves Misty's the strongest because she lasted like 3 seasons, so.
Yeah. Alternatively,
that up.
Misty could be the same, and she ate one of her sisters.
Oh my goodness, this is going directions.
I'm sure there was another common theory, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, it's that Ash was put into a coma when he first took the fucking Pikachu.
Oh,
got
yeah.
shocked
Of
and
course,
stuff.
we
Oh,
have
it's
the
just
it's all a
his
coma
dreams.
crap. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's the other common theory.
Yeah.
I don't like that one as much. I prefer the incubus theory.
the fevered coma dreams of Ash Ketchum.
He can't even win in his dreams. Gary's still better.
I suppose, alternatively, it could be he finishes Kanto is the first region he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
He finishes Kanto, and then he just the timeline splits, and we see his journey. Like in Universe A, he goes to Johto, and Universe B he goes to Kalos or whatever.
I feel like Slice is not a big enough Pokemon fan.
Why would I be? It's kind of boring.
Kanto, Johto, Hoenn, Sinnoh, Unova,
Nerd.
Kalos.
It's not my fault you didn't have a childhood Slicer.
Oh, I played the Pokemon games. It's just that
You didn't have
bored
anyone to
with them.
link cable battle with.
No, I didn't. I suppose that's one thing.
I actually did that once with a friend. It was like, it was a 6-on-6, and we basically had all of the legendaries.
Oh,
And it came down to 1-on-1 with our Mewtwo's,
Oh.
and I ran out of moves.
ooh.
So it became a struggle battle, and he still had attack, so he won.
Is there an end if both people don't have any moves left? What happens?
Yeah, if you run out of moves, then you struggle, which is it does damage to your opponent, but it also damages yourself.
Oh.
So eventually, someone will lose.
Eventually.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it took a while. That battle lasted for like an hour and a half. It was, yeah.
See, I was playing kids, and I actually trained my Pokemon in an actual way. So when they started, and they didn't, they just caught what they thought looked pretty. So,
Did you EV train them?
huh?
Did you EV train them?
I don't think that was a thing when you were kids.
Oh.
I don't know what that means, honestly.
You fight certain types of Pokemon to get certain stats when you level up.
No,
Did I explain this to you?
I didn't do that.
EV training is for people with too much time on their hands.
IV training is for people with too much time on their hands. Jesus Christ.
What's that?
They're both terrible.
IVs, they're basically stat bonuses that they get on creation. It goes from
Oh.
0 to 31 in all 5 categories.
You just keep breeding
So,
things until you get a perfect...
You have to breed them into having the good stats, yeah.
Jeez.
That is for people with no lives, thank you. EVs, by comparison, is pretty fucking easy.
You know, I want to see that in a fic. Somebody EV training, or somebody coming across somebody else that's EV training, because that's really fucked up. That's like a puppy mill.
Yeah. Oh well. So that's Pokemon question. Yay. Thanks, Neil. Alright, next question is basically for Zero, because none of us know what the fuck this is. Thoughts on Noblesse? by Ryu Hitsuya. Thanks, Ryu Hitsuya. You asked one question.
Alright, so Noblesse
Huh?
is about this super powerful vampire lord, and he wakes up, or he's not necessarily, he's a vampire, but he's something else entirely. He's like the lord something, he's not like a real vampire. It's weird what exactly is going on with him, but he wakes up in 21st century, and he has no idea what's going on. He's a noble, and that's what the so-called vampire things are called. They're not really, I don't think they even suck blood, but he has really powerful abilities, and he's really strong, and yet it takes a humongous toll on his body. And I stopped following it when they started focusing on all the side characters, because that was really the death of this for me. Was you had a really cool character. You had Frank. His side person was, or servant is called Frankenstein, and he's this blonde-haired dude that has some really, really powerful abilities. He's a really cool guy. So I like the main character, who is Rai, or Caris Estama de Rizel, or just Rai. You got Rai and Frankenstein, and I like them. They're okay. It's just when they spend so long focusing on the side characters that they recruited, and then
so they shut away the witch hunter.
Yeah, basically they shut away the main character for a long time, and I stopped following it there because it kind of...
You were following it for the main character.
Yeah,
basically.
I was following it for the main characters, specifically, and it just stopped doing that, and it was boring, so I just naturally fell off it.
Understandable.
So that's my impression of it. Yeah.
Okay, Deja Vu is the next question, basically, from kind of.
Have you guys ever experienced deja vu? He asked.
All the time.
I have experienced deja vu. I'll rephrase. I have been able to predict things that happened, basically. So, I have had a dream where I dreamt something would happen, and then it happened, and I was able to predict what would happen next.
Reverse deja vu.
That's more a prophetic dream than deja vu, but yeah, sure. That's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. It was never actually useful, but it was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. It's not like lottery numbers or anything?
No. Well, it was never anything so specific. It was just, hey, I remember someone saying something like this, and then someone said,
Yeah.
and it was something else.
Yeah, that's what I have. That's what happens to me a lot. It's never about anything worthwhile having happened. It's usually like, I had a dream that I was driving down the road at night on this little black road near the school near my house, and this song came on the radio. Dream end. And then it happens in real life about 3 months later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool when it happens. Makes you feel like a future seer. But
No, it pisses me off, because, like, what the fuck does purpose serve? This served no purpose. Why couldn't it be something useful?
Yeah, I really haven't, actually. I mean, maybe it's because I don't pay attention, I guess. If life gets predictable, I get bored.
Oh.
Sort of, I guess. I like most kinds of predictability, but not the kind that I can predict in a weird sort of way, I guess. I don't understand it either, okay?
You live in Iowa.
Yeah.
Your life is pretty predictable in Iowa.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, I like a routine, but I don't like some kinds of predictability, I guess. I don't understand it.
I want my life to be full of whimsy. I want to not know what's around the next corner. What could be there next? Is it a guy with a knife, or is it chupacabra, or is it just a ferret or something? I don't know. It's the fun.
It's a ferret.
See, I would only like that kind of life if I was a video game character. So, like, I gained some kind of tangible benefit from all of the encounters I come across.
I am a video game character.
Sure. What level are you?
I don't know. I can't check it. My video game doesn't work like
Technically,
that.
we are video game characters. How's that thing coming along, Zero?
Oh,
I need to work on some. That reminds me. I was going to ask. I remember I didn't even start yet. I was going to ask the audience what for ideas that they wanted to put in there. So I want to compile stuff before I even started. Well, I guess I'll do that now. If you guys want some input, I'm going to be doing the Fandom Flux game again. Yeah, and you can feel free to comment things that you would like to see in the game. Even a main plot if you want. We already have something now, but if you could think of something better, by all means.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one we have now is kind of out of date.
Well, I did suggest the League of Incompetent Villains.
By the way, Slicer, I am a video game character, and my system doesn't operate by leveling up. It's skill branches, okay?
Uh-huh.
I don't just level up and my stats just automatically level up. This isn't Pokemon style. I don't level up and learn a move every 3 levels. I get skill points, which I distribute.
Can't you believe in skill trees?
Yeah.
This went weird places.
Yeah, kind of.
We have questions to answer, don't we?
Nope, that was the last one.
Really? That's it? Okay.
Yeah, that was it. Recommendations. Anyone got any?
Fuck, I forgot to look for one this week.
I got a tentative one, but that's about it.
Alright, go for it.
Demon Lord's Hero. It's Fate Stay Night DXD crossover. Seraphel, I think? The chesty one with her own show that likes to dress up as a magical girl. That one. She grants the wish of Shiro to save Ilya's life. And he is a really powerful person as a devil.
Why did I not recommend that?
I don't know. Did you read it?
Yes.
Ah, right. Well, it's
Probably should have recommended it then.
It puts the devils in a new light, in a very interesting way. For a minor spoiler, I guess. Rias, that's her name, right? Rias Gremory?
Yep.
Yeah, she orchestrates Issei's death to ensure his loyalty.
Yep, seen that.
I mean, that's like... It's a little more complicated than that, but that's pretty much the bare bones of it.
I love how he handled Kokubio. That was entertaining to me. The whole Fallen Angels part was entertaining.
I don't think I got to that part yet, so...
Oh.
Yeah. I'm at chapter, 6 of, 18, I think? Something like that.
12.
That's it, yeah, 12.
Yeah. I've seen the, Rias orchestrating the death thing before. Basically, she saw Issei as a way out of the whole Phoenix thing.
Mm-hmm.
So she just used him like that. And she felt guilty about it, but she did it anyway because she needed to.
Yeah, that's part of it in this one, but mostly it's actually because they don't know he has the other dragon gear, or sacred gear. So it's to prevent him from going on a rampage like the white gear person did, and he ends up destroying a city, 200,000 people dead.
Okay then. Okay, we'll probably check that out, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so I guess we're pretty much done, because we've got no more topics and stuff. I've been playing Minesweeper for the past 10 minutes, ever since Zero started talking about Noblesse, so...
Right.
Yeah. It is my new time waster thing, so...
I can't play that game.
It kind of sucks, because there are a lot of instances where you literally can't know where to go.
And that's why I don't like Minesweeper.
Yeah.
I was farming for Mad Warrior armor on Dark Souls.
Yeah, we were all so invested in this podcast this week, I swear.
I do that all the time. I find some mindless task I could just do over and over and over again.
I blame Slicer for being super late.
Yeah, me too.
I accidentally fell back to sleep, so I was 15 minutes late?
Based on the idea that we show up at, 4? Yeah, my time. But usually we show up 2 hours early. but 2 hours, bit of exaggeration, like half an hour early at least. So, yeah, realistically, Slicey, you were like 45 minutes late.
Yeah. I stayed up late for that great Evil Within review I gave. That was not rambly at all, even if I had notes.
Yeah, see, that would be an excuse, but I did the same thing for Dragon Age, if you remember. I showed up.
Ooh.
Okay, so, on that note, I'd like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 63. If you would like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the Blogspot page through the comments, or on personal profiles on fanfiction.net, or through the YouTube channel through the comments. Once again, I would like to thank everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast, episode 63. Bye now.
Bye.
Blame
See you guys.
Slicer.
Yeah,
Blame
yeah.
Slicer.